Relationships are the lifeblood of our existence. They offer companionship, support, and love. But let's be honest, they can also be incredibly challenging. Disagreements arise, feelings get hurt, trust can be broken. It's an inevitable part of the human experience. We yearn for harmony, yet we stumble through misunderstandings and pain. Navigating these turbulent waters is where forgiveness comes in. It's not a sign of weakness, but rather an act of incredible strength. Forgiveness is a conscious decision to let go of resentment and offer grace both to others and ourselves. It's a journey of healing, understanding, and ultimately, freedom from the shackles of the past. When we hold on to anger and resentment, we allow the hurt to fester. Like a seed of bitterness planted in our hearts, it grows, casting a shadow over our relationships. Unforgiveness becomes a heavy burden, weighing us down and preventing us from experiencing the fullness of joy and peace. But what if there was a different way? What if we could break free from this cycle of pain and embrace a path of healing? What if we could learn to forgive as we have been forgiven? This is the radical message at the heart of Jesus' teachings. He understood that forgiveness wasn't just a feel-good concept, it was the key to unlocking true freedom and experiencing genuine love. Forgiveness, as Jesus exemplified, is not about condoning wrong behavior or pretending that hurt didn't occur. It's about acknowledging the pain, choosing to release the offender from our judgment, and embarking on a journey of healing. It's about recognizing our own humanity and extending grace to others, just as we have received grace ourselves. Throughout this video, we will delve into the transformative power of forgiveness by exploring the teachings of Jesus and hearing real-life stories of people who have navigated the choppy waters of forgiveness in their own relationships. We will discover practical tools and insights to help us apply these principles in our own lives, fostering healing, restoring connections, and experiencing the profound freedom that comes from truly letting go. In the tapestry of human history, few figures have left a mark as profound as Jesus of Nazareth. His teachings, rooted in love, compassion, and forgiveness, continue to resonate across cultures and centuries. At the heart of his message lay a radical proposition: to love our enemies, to pray for those who persecute us, and to forgive not 7 times but 70 times 7. This was not a call for weakness or passivity. Jesus, with his unwavering commitment to truth and justice, understood the complexities of human nature. He knew the pain of betrayal, the sting of injustice, yet he chose forgiveness. He chose to break the cycle of hatred and revenge, offering a path of healing and reconciliation. Jesus, a master storyteller, often used parables to convey profound truths. One such story, the parable of the unforgiving servant, powerfully illustrates the importance of forgiveness. In this story, a king forgives his servant an enormous debt. Yet this same servant, moments later, refuses to forgive a fellow servant a much smaller debt. The king, upon learning of the servant's hypocrisy, is outraged. He demands that the unforgiving servant be thrown into prison until he repays his entire debt. This parable serves as a stark reminder that our forgiveness of others is intricately linked to our own experience of being forgiven by God. Jesus' emphasis on forgiveness was not merely a suggestion, it was a divine command. In the Lord's Prayer, he taught his disciples to pray, "Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors." These words, uttered by millions around the world, serve as a powerful reminder that our ability to receive God's forgiveness is directly tied to our willingness to forgive others. Forgiveness, in this context, transcends mere human emotion. It becomes an act of obedience, a surrender to a higher principle. It recognizes that we are all flawed beings in need of grace, both from God and from one another. When Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, asked how many times he should forgive his brother, he likely expected a reasonable number. Perhaps 7 times would suffice. Jesus' response, however, shattered all expectations. "I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7, he declared. In essence, Jesus was saying that forgiveness should know no bounds. It should be as limitless as the love and mercy we have received from God. This radical notion challenges us to release the shackles of bitterness and embrace a spirit of boundless compassion. Imagine a bustling playground, alive with the joyous shrieks and laughter of children. Two young girls, Sarah and Emily, their laughter echoing through the air, swing side by side, their bond seemingly unbreakable. Years pass, the swings replaced with whispered secrets and shared dreams. Their friendship, a steadfast compass, guides them through the turbulent waters of adolescence. But life, as it often does, throws a curveball. A misunderstanding arises, words are exchanged in the heat of the moment, and a chasm of hurt and resentment forms between the two friends. The once vibrant tapestry of their friendship, now frayed and torn, hangs precariously, threatening to unravel completely. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and the silence between Sarah and Emily becomes deafening. Each carries the weight of unspoken words, the sting of perceived betrayal, and the ache of a friendship lost. Pride becomes a formidable barrier, preventing either girl from taking the first step towards reconciliation. The once vibrant memories they shared now seem tainted, their edges blurred by anger and resentment. The joy they once found in each other's company is replaced by a dull ache of longing and regret. They move through life haunted by the ghost of their broken friendship. One evening, as Sarah sits alone in her room, her gaze falls upon a well-worn Bible. As she flips through its pages, her eyes alight upon the words of Jesus. For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. The words strike a chord deep within her, igniting a flicker of hope. Could forgiveness be the key to healing the rift between her and Emily? Could she find the strength to let go of the anger and resentment that had held her captive for so long? The thought at first is daunting, but as Sarah reflects on her own need for forgiveness, a sense of peace washes over her. The long road to reconciliation. With a newfound determination, Sarah reaches out to Emily, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. Their initial conversation is awkward, filled with hesitant apologies and the lingering sting of past hurts. But beneath the surface lies a shared desire to mend their fractured bond. The road to reconciliation is not without its bumps and detours. There are moments of doubt, resurfaced anger, and the temptation to retreat back into the comfort of silence. Yet Sarah and Emily persevere, drawing strength from their shared history and the knowledge that forgiveness is not a destination, but a journey. The transformative power of forgiveness. As time passes, the sharp edges of their pain gradually soften. Laughter, once a distant memory, returns to their interactions, tentative at first, then growing in strength and frequency. The chasm that once separated them begins to close, replaced by a bridge of understanding, empathy, and newfound appreciation for the precious gift of their friendship. A foundation shaken. Imagine a majestic oak tree, its roots deeply intertwined, representing the strong and steady love of a married couple, Mark and Anna. Years of shared laughter, whispered dreams, and weathered storms have only strengthened their bond. Their love, a beacon of warmth and security, has been a constant in an ever-changing world. But even the sturdiest of trees can be shaken to its core. The discovery of infidelity strikes at the heart of their marriage, leaving Mark feeling betrayed and heartbroken. The once unshakable foundation of trust crumbles, leaving behind a debris field of pain, anger, and doubt. Days bleed into weeks, each one a relentless cycle of accusations, justifications, and soul-crushing silence. The weight of Anna's betrayal presses down on Mark, threatening to suffocate the love he once felt. The memories they built together, once a source of comfort, now mock him with a cruel irony. The pain of betrayal is a heavy burden to bear, and Mark finds himself wrestling with a torrent of emotions. Anger flares at the injustice of it all. Doubt whispers insidious questions, eroding his sense of self-worth. The very foundation upon which he built his life seems to crumble beneath him. Lost and hurting, Mark seeks solace in the familiar words of his faith. He stumbles upon a passage in the Gospel of Matthew where Jesus says, "If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault, just the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over." Could forgiveness, even in the face of such deep betrayal, be possible? The thought seems unimaginable at first. How could he possibly forgive such a transgression? The pain is too raw, the wound too deep. Yet as he delves deeper into the teachings of Jesus, he begins to understand that forgiveness is not about condoning the wrong, but about freeing himself from the shackles of bitterness and resentment. The path to forgiveness is not a single act but a conscious choice made each day. It is a journey of confronting pain, rebuilding trust, and rediscovering love. It is a journey that Mark and Anna must choose to embark on together, one faltering step at a time. There are setbacks along the way, moments of anger and doubt that threaten to derail their progress. But through it all, they hold on to the fragile thread of hope, fueled by their shared history, and a deep-seated love that refuses to be extinguished. They seek counseling, attend support groups, and most importantly, they learn to communicate with each other again, honestly and openly. The triumph of love forgiveness as a lifelong practice. Forgiveness, Mark comes to realize, is not a destination but a lifelong practice. It is a commitment to choosing love over anger, grace over resentment, and hope over despair. It is a journey that he and Anna will continue to navigate hand in hand for as long as they both shall live. A family divided. Picture a quaint, tree-lined street bathed in the warm glow of a summer evening. The air is filled with the sounds of children playing hopscotch, their laughter echoing through the neighborhood. Neighbors lean over fences, exchanging stories and smiles, creating a sense of community and warmth. Children's laughter spills out from open windows, their joyful cries blending with the rhythmic chirping of crickets. The scene is almost magical, a perfect picture of suburban bliss. But in one house, a palpable silence hangs heavy in the air, a stark contrast to the idyllic scene outside. The house stands dark and quiet, almost as if it is holding its breath. Inside, a young boy, Michael, sits alone in his room, his small frame dwarfed by the weight of his unspoken pain. He clutches a worn teddy bear, his only source of comfort in a world that feels increasingly cold and distant. Michael yearns for the love and acceptance of his father, but his attempts at connection are met with indifference, sometimes even harshness. Each rejection chips away at his spirit, leaving him feeling more isolated. His father, a distant figure consumed by his own demons, seems incapable of offering the warmth and affection Michael craves. The father's troubled expression reveals a man lost in his own world, unable to see the pain in his son's eyes. As the years pass, a chasm of misunderstanding and hurt widens between them, threatening to tear their family apart. The emotional distance grows, creating a void that seems impossible to bridge. The once hopeful and loving family now stands on the brink of falling apart, each member trapped in their own sorrow. Scars of childhood, the lingering pain of rejection. Time marches on and Michael, now a young man, carries the scars of his childhood with him. The pain of his father's rejection has left an indelible mark, shaping his interactions with others and his perception of himself. He struggles with feelings of inadequacy, his self-worth eroded by years of unspoken criticism and emotional distance. The once vibrant colors of childhood have faded, replaced by a muted palette reflecting the emotional burdens he carries. He throws himself into his work, seeking solace in achievement and external validation, but the emptiness within remains. The courage to confront, breaking the cycle of silence. One evening, as Michael stumbles upon an old family photo album, his gaze falls upon a picture of his father as a young boy. The photo captures a moment of carefree joy, a stark contrast to the distant, hardened man Michael has always known. In that instant, a flicker of empathy ignites within him, a realization that his father too carries his own unseen wounds. Armed with this newfound understanding, Michael makes a decision that will forever alter the course of their relationship. He reaches out to his father, not with accusations or demands, but with a heartfelt desire to understand, to bridge the chasm of silence that has separated them for far too long. A father's love, redemption, and the gift of forgiveness. Their initial conversations are awkward, filled with long pauses and the weight of unspoken history. Michael's father, initially resistant, gradually lets down his guard, revealing glimpses of the pain and regret he has carried for years. He shares stories of his own troubled childhood, of the abuse he suffered at the hands of his own father, a cycle of pain that had been silently passed down through generations. In that shared vulnerability, a bridge of understanding begins to form. Michael, for the first time, sees his father not as a distant, unloving figure, but as a flawed human being shaped by his own experiences of pain and loss. And in that realization, he finds the strength to forgive. The tapestry of forgiveness. The threads of forgiveness, when woven together, create a tapestry of extraordinary beauty and resilience. Each thread represents a moment of grace, a decision to let go, and a step towards healing. The process is intricate and requires patience, but the result is a masterpiece that tells a story of strength and compassion. We've witnessed the transformative power of forgiveness in the lives of Sarah and Emily, two friends whose bond was tested by time and trials. Their journey wasn't easy, but through understanding and empathy, they found their way back to each other. Their childhood bond, though strained by misunderstanding, found redemption in the balm of grace. They learned that forgiveness is not about forgetting the past, but about creating a future where love and trust can flourish once more. We've seen Mark and Anna, a couple whose love story faced a severe test. Their marriage was shaken to its core by betrayal, leaving them both hurt and disillusioned. Yet they chose the arduous path of reconciliation, seeking help and opening their hearts to each other once again. Through countless conversations and moments of vulnerability, they rebuilt their relationship. Their love rekindled through empathy and understanding, proving that even the deepest wounds can heal with time and effort. And we've witnessed Michael's journey of healing, a man who carried the weight of childhood pain for many years. His childhood pain transformed into compassion, as he extended forgiveness to his flawed but ultimately loving father. This act of forgiveness allowed him to break free from the chains of his past and embrace a future filled with peace. These stories, though unique in their details, share a common thread, the recognition that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but an act of profound strength. It requires courage to face the pain and choose to let it go. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrong behavior, but about releasing ourselves from the shackles of resentment and bitterness. It is about freeing our hearts and minds to live fully and joyfully. It is a conscious decision to let go of the past and embrace the present with an open heart. By forgiving, we reclaim our power and our peace. It is a gift we give ourselves, a way to heal and move forward. Forgiveness is a conscious choice to break free from the cycle of pain and embrace the healing power of grace. It is the ultimate act of self-love and liberation, allowing us to live our lives with a sense of peace and fulfillment. A ripple effect of hope. As we've journeyed together through these stories, we've discovered that forgiveness is not a passive act, but an active pursuit, a conscious decision that we make every single day. It is a daily choice to extend grace, both to others and ourselves, recognizing that we are all imperfect beings striving to do our best. This journey of forgiveness requires immense courage, a deep well of compassion, and an unwavering belief in the transformative power of love. It is not always easy, but it is always worth it. When we choose to forgive, we set in motion a ripple effect of hope, not just in our own lives, but in the lives of those around us. This ripple can grow and expand, touching hearts and changing lives in ways we may never fully understand. We create a space for healing, reconciliation, and the possibility of new beginnings. In this space, wounds can mend, relationships can be restored, and new paths can be forged. And in doing so, we reflect the boundless love and mercy of the one who first forgave us, setting an example for us to follow. This act of forgiveness sets us free, allowing us to live lives defined not by our past hurts but by the boundless possibilities of love and grace. It is in this freedom that we find true joy and fulfillment, embracing the beauty of a life lived with an open heart. Thank you for joining me today on Dating Relationship Divinely. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's continue to grow in faith and love together. Stay blessed.